Hello, readers, and welcome to lesson 95. Today we're on lesson 95, so go ahead and find lesson 95 in your Reading Mastery book. Go ahead and pause your device if you need to. Okay, let's find column 1. Here we go. Word 1 is volunteer. What word? Word 2 is blizzard. What word? Word 3 is weary. What word? Another word for very tired is weary. If you were saying, oh, I didn't sleep much last night, I was so tired today. What's another way of saying that? That's right. I didn't sleep well last night. I'm so weary today. If you say that, your parents would be very impressed. The word is weary. Word 4 says photo. What word? And then word 5 says Sweden. What word? Sweden is a country in Northern Europe. That's where my ancestors are from. The word is Sweden. Let's read those words the fast way. Word 1, what word? Word 2, what word? Word 3, what word? Word 4, what word? Word 5, what word? Excellent. Let's move on to column 2. Column 2. All these words end with the letters ed. Be careful because ed makes different sounds in the word, right? We know that because ed is also a phonogram. D, t, past tense ending. So it makes d, t. Here we go. Word 1 says competed. What word? Word 2 says amused. What word? Word 3 says mushed. What word? Word 4 says dedicated. What word? Very good. Let's read, those words the fast way. Word 1, what word? Word 2, what word? Word 3, what word? Word 4, what word? Excellent. Find column 3. Number 1 is a name that you guys already know. The name is Mr. Martin. What word? Our gym teacher. That's right, Mr. Martin. Word 2 says feet. What word? Feet. Now, this isn't like the feet on underneath your legs. This is like a great feat, like something you accomplish, like a big thing you accomplish is a great feat. F-E-A-T. Number 3 says events. What word? Events. Word 4 says courage. What word? Courage. Very good. Word 5 says unties. What word? Good job. Unties. Let's read these words the fast way. Word 1, what name? Number 2, what word? Number 3, what word? Number 4, what word? Number 5, what word? Very good. Let's go to column 4. Number 1 says endurance. What word? 2 says challenging. What word? 3 says Hoover. What word? 4 says demanding. What word? Good. Let's read these words the fast way. Word 1, what word? Word 2, what word? Word 3, what word? Word 4, what word? Good. Okay, let's play mystery word. Okay, so the mystery word today could be in any 4 of the columns, right? I'm going to describe it without telling you what it is, and then you're going to have to guess what it is. Okay, so I'm thinking of a word that is a proper noun. It's a name. It has the phonogram. Ooh, ah, oh. Ooh, ah, oh, it's magic. You know. Ooh, ah, oh. What is it? Very good. Hoover. Hoover, the name. I think that's probably a name of a dog. Maybe. It could be a name of a person too. All right, here we go. Find part B in your textbook. The area limit for this story is... Oh, not yet. We have an information passage. All right, everybody touch the title to the information passage. What's the title? Supplies for the race. Here we go. The rules of the Iditarod require each musher to bring along supplies that are needed for the musher and the dogs to survive under severe conditions. The rules require the musher to have an axe, a good sleeping bag, snowshoes, and enough food for one day. Listen to that part again. The rules require the musher to have an axe, a good sleeping bag, snowshoes, and enough food for one day. Who can name all the things a musher needs? I know you all can because we just did it twice. So go ahead and tell me, what does a musher need? Snowshoes, enough food for one day, an axe, and a good sleeping bag. Very good. Let's keep reading. The sled must have at least 2 pounds of food for each dog and 1 day's worth of food for the musher. The rules also require the sled to have enough room to carry at least 1 injured dog. So imagine, these sleds have to be massive if you have to bring 2 pounds of food for a dog, a day's worth of food for the musher, an axe, a good sleeping bag, and an injured dog if you need it. That you have to have a massive sled and room for the musher, right? Right. All right. Find part C in your textbooks. The error limit for this group reading is 11 errors, so make sure that you're paying attention to Mrs. Halverson. If she makes more than 11 errors, then I'm going to have to do it again. All right, are you ready? Everybody touch the title. Everybody, what's the title? The Big Race. What important thing did Chad and Susie learn from the vet last time? Yeah, that Chugger might have something wrong with her hip, right? Right. All right. Let's start our reading. Chad didn't talk much in the truck as he drove back to Susie's place. Susie could see that he was thinking about what to do with Chugger. She didn't say anything. She knew that Chad had to make his own decision because he would be the one who would have to live with it. The only dogs that are more important than the wheel dogs are the lead dogs. Susie knew that Chad did not want to replace either of his regular wheel dogs because they worked well together. As Chad drove, he said, "She hasn't had any problems on the practice runs." A few minutes later, he said, "Neither of her parents had hip problems." When the truck was about a mile from Susie's place, he said, "I'll make a decision tomorrow." When he dropped Susie off, he said, "I've made up my mind about Chugger. I'm going to keep her on the team. I think she'll be fine." Scholars, did he wait until tomorrow to make his decision? No, it's kind of like when we say we're going to sleep on it, but we kind of already know the answer, right? So he's going to run Chugger. Why did he not think that Chugger was going to have problems on the Iditarod? Why did he decide that he was going to bring Chugger? That's right. She had no problems before. Her parents didn't have any hip problems. So he thought, you know what? I'm made in the shade. She'll be fine. What do you guys think? What would you have done? What will happen considering this is a reading mastery story after all? Let's continue reading. Later that evening, Susie thought about the adventures that Chad was going to have. As she thought about the Iditarod, she looked at a photo on the wall that showed a smiling woman surrounded by sled dogs. The woman was Susan Butcher. She had entered the Iditarod 17 times, and she actually finished it 16 times. Everybody, what's the name of the woman in the picture? Susan Butcher. Whoops. How many times had she entered the Iditarod? How many times has she finished? That's amazing. So I actually know a little bit about the time that Susan Butcher did not finish the race. And the reason that she did not finish the race is because she and her sled dog team were attacked by a moose. That would be really scary. A big moose can be very aggressive. If you've ever been to the Minnesota Zoo, they have one there, and they're huge. Let's keep reading. Not only did she finish the race, but one time she came in third place, 4 times she came in second place. This was an amazing feat for a woman who competed against the greatest mushers in the world in an event that required courage, strength, and incredible endurance. Even more amazing than her 4 second place finishes was her first place finish in 1986. And she also finished first in 1987, 1988, and 1990. So she got second 4 times, and she got first 4 times. And then one time she came in third place. Let's keep reading. Susie wondered how she had done it. 4 first place finishes in what has to be one of the most challenging events a person could enter. Let's keep reading. What does the ... mean? That time has passed. Good. So we're going from Susie to her room to more than 75 teams are ready to start the Iditarod. So now we're starting the Iditarod already. Here we go. More than 75 teams were ready to start the Iditarod. The weather was miserable. The temperature was near freezing, and a thick, wet snow was falling. The dogs were panting. They knew they were going to start something that was very demanding. The race had started at 10 a.m., but it hadn't started for all the mushers. One musher started at a time. In fact, the first musher who was called to the starting line had died earlier that year. After calling his name, the announcer explained to the crowd that the race was dedicated to him. 2 minutes later, the first musher left. Everybody cheered. Some of the dogs barked and howled. Others just looked around panting. 2 minutes after that musher had left, another musher started. How much time passed before the next musher started? That's right, 2 minutes. So if a musher was the 20th one in line, how long would it be before that musher would start the race? That's right, 40 minutes. Let's keep reading. Musher number 16 amused the crowd, but he didn't do it on purpose. He had tied the back of his sled to a pickup truck. When the announcer called his number, he mushed. The team pulled hard, and as they crossed the start line, the dogs were pulling the pickup truck along behind them. That is pretty funny. The announcer said, "Now that's a team with some real power. Think of how well they're going to do when Mr. Martin unties them from his truck." Everybody laughed. It was now after 11 a.m., but Chad hadn't started yet. He was the 61st musher in the race. Just ahead of him was a musher from Sweden. Behind him was a musher from Michigan. That musher had run the Iditarod 6 times. Chad and Susie were busy getting ready. They were putting booties on the dogs' feet. Chad brought along more than 1,000 booties. 1,000 booties. Wow. He figured that he would change booties about every 2 days, and more often if the snow was hard and frozen. "Number 59, the announcer called from the start line. "Terry North from Colorado. It's your turn, Terry. Good luck." Terry tipped his hat and shouted, "Mush!" so loudly that some of the dogs that were not on his team tried to run. One of them was Hoover, a dog on Chad's team. Chad said, "Take it easy, Hoover. It won't be long now." Chad and Susie checked the supplies one last time. They had already done it 3 times earlier. And if something was missing now, there wasn't much they could do about it because of the most important rule of the Iditarod. Once the race starts, all mushers are on their own. They can't try to get help from anybody who is not in the race. They can't use a phone, a radio, or any other device that would allow others to help them. When they are on the trail, they must do the best they can without help from anybody. Wow. So Chad was number 61 in line. He was after somebody from Sweden, before somebody from Michigan who had already run it 6 times. So people really do the Iditarod again and again to see if they can get any better, maybe to see if they can win. Everybody probably has a different goal, right? Can you remind me, what was Chad's goal? Did he want to win? No, he just wanted to finish, right? All right, let's look at our homework for today. Hi, friends. So Lesson 95. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, today is all about supporting a claim with textual evidence. So let's look at our homework here. Supporting a claim with textual evidence. In this lesson, something interesting happens to the 16th musher on pages 123 and 124. Something kind of funny happens, remember? How does this musher make the audience feel? What happened? Use a direct quote when answering. So when you are answering, make sure that you're copying word for word what it says in the book. Don't put it in your own words. Use the words right from the book. Okay? What's the second question? It says, write about a time something funny happened to you or you saw something funny happen. Now, bonus points if you didn't mean for it to be funny, or bonus points if the person doing it wasn't meaning to be funny and it just kind of happens. Like my toddler, Ella, who's 20 months old, does funny things all the time without meaning to, right? So she'll dance in a funny way, just kind of because she's feeling the music and she's not trying to be funny, right? But because she's so little and cute, it's super funny. Okay. So think about what's the time that you did something funny or someone did something funny. Okay. I can't wait to hear your responses. Make sure that you are looking at the rubric down below. Make sure that the correct emotion is identified. That means that up here it says Musher 68 blank the crowd. So blank is a word in the book that you're going to use. You wrote a direct quote. You did not put it in your own words. It's a direct quote that supports the claim. And then you have a thoughtful text to self or text to text connection. And then, of course, as always, you have proper capitalization and punctuation. All right, friends, happy reading. See you tomorrow.